I want to quickly talk to you in today's conversation about how to own a FedEx pickup and delivery business. A lot of folks are becoming multimillionaire in this industry. They don't talk about it, and nobody even knows. So in today's conversation, I really want to I want to shed light on this business opportunity. Okay, how do you make $250,000 on average by being a FedEx pickup and delivery business operator? So welcome back to the show, boss. I really appreciate having you here. And here are the steps I really want you to follow right now. First thing first, you need to actually understand the opportunity. Boss, I want you to drop everything and I want you to look on the screen. Look on the screen, the first screenshot. This tells you the opportunity I'm talking about, the P&D opportunity at FedEx. Pickup and delivery, okay? You're making, on average, $250,000. And so this is the first screenshot, and I want you to look at the second screenshot. So the bottom line here is we are talking about big money, not small ass money. Big money, all right? So let me quickly explain to you the whole opportunity. So here, basically, you'll be actually hauling for FedEx Custom Critical. Okay, so basically you'll be having so you can be a solopreneur, so you have your cargo van or your sprinter van, or you can have a fleet, not a problem, and the FedEx will assign a route or a region for you, so you can basically just manage that route and actually grow your business. Okay, and so FedEx is constantly looking for independent contractors or fleet owners, okay, with strict trucks. You have tractors also. If you have cargo vans, they'll work with you. If you have a sprinter van, they'll work with you also. The only thing is they prefer to have straight trucks. Okay, so if you have that, this could be great. Now, one thing we have found here is that based on our analysis, what we have seen here is that FedEx is pretty flexible in terms of the type of vehicle they will accept based on the geography. So if you are in a region where they really need, let's say, cargo vans and sprinter vans more than straight trucks, they'll work with you. Okay, and we're talking about like year-round opportunities. Okay, so basically you are able to have so if you get accepted into the program, you have a weekly settlement, you have a fuel card program, you have a discount program, you have an advance program, you have base plate program, shipment options through a load board. Okay, so you have the FedEx load board, you have company-owned trailers. And they also have contractor incentive programs, and they have a flat rate and percentage-based compensation programs. Fantastic. So if you want to own a FedEx pickup and delivery business that owns on average $250,000 a year, you want to understand the opportunity. The second thing is you need to position yourself properly. The whole thing here is that when we talk about positioning yourself, you have to understand you have FedEx Custom Critical, you have FedEx Ground, okay? And FedEx Ground, those are the two business departments within FedEx. They are looking for business owner operators. They're looking for business contractors. They're looking for owner operators, solopreneurs, fleet operators, and so on and so forth. And what you want to do here is that you need to actually position yourself in terms of what kind of route you want to take on. Very important. You also need to understand exactly what FedEx is looking for. FedEx is looking for punctuality, for customer service. You got to have driving safety must be your number one priority. So you got to have a driving history that is clean, that's really clean and clear. No big problem with DUI or DWI, whatever. No, you don't want to have that, okay? And by the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. I'm having a conversation with you about how to own a FedEx pickup and delivery business, okay? So the thing here, the way you position yourself here is that you have to choose whether or not you want to go with FedEx Ground or FedEx Critical, Custom Critical. Those are the two departments that want people, okay? Now, what is the difference, you would ask me? The thing is that FedEx Ground is the better version. The only thing is FedEx Custom Critical actually depends on the geography, but FedEx Ground is available in all 50 states. There are some states that do not have FedEx Custom Critical. So it's just a lot better if you were to ask us, based on our research, that you should go for the FedEx Ground. You should apply for the FedEx Ground. So you want to go for the pickup and delivery business opportunities. The reason is that you are able, like if you're a one-person business, they'll work with you. But you gotta be ambitious though, boss. You gotta be ambitious. You gotta be deadline driven. You gotta be able to build relationships with customers. And you need to have the drive to expand your business footprint. But this is kind of similar to what Amazon is doing. So basically, the FedEx P&D business opportunity, FedEx will help you out. They'll give you all the resources. They'll help you with their brand name and everything. They'll train you, but you'll have to do the hard work. Okay, you have to actually maintain your business. So this is totally possible, but you got to position yourself. But the benefits are great though. You have the freedom to manage your own business. You have seasonal incentives. You can build relationships with customers, and you have payments on a weekly basis. You're being paid every week, boss. Every week. The third thing I want you to do here is to prepare your paperwork. So let's just quickly follow the logic here. If you want to own a FedEx Pickup and Delivery business with the potential to make $250,000 a year, you want to understand the opportunity. You want to position yourself properly. You want to prepare your paperwork. Okay. By the way, boss, when I'm talking about $250,000, I'm speaking about free and clear. I'm not talking about gross income. I'm speaking about net income. We have folks right now who are making $250,000 free and clear. All right. Now, you have to prepare the paperwork. I want you to look right now on the screen. So basically what you have to do here is you have to actually go through the request for information. So FedEx actually has a system in place where they actually follow RFI, request for information, basically where you explain to them what your business is about. If you're a single member LLC, you have to tell them what your business is about, the legal structure, where you're located. If you have some financial information you want to put it. So it's just like a short business plan that you have to send to FedEx. Okay. And so it's called a request for information. So you talked about the background of your business, the financial viability. They want you to talk about your customer service approach. They want you to explain to them. I'm talking about FedEx. You need to explain to them the current resources and capacity, things like equipment and employees that you have, and your ability to expand during peak season. Because FedEx is really, really worried about peak season because they have so much business. And last year, for example, they really had a lot of problems. 2 years ago, it was okay, but last year they had problems. So they're really sort of stressed about that. They have volume, but they need to be able to meet demands. Otherwise, they're losing business to UPS and USPS and DHL and whatnot. Okay, so you have to also explain in your RFI, your request for information, your plans for handling pickups, your safety commitment and experience. You got to talk about your security, loss and damage avoidance policy. You got to talk about your contingency situations programming and your legal compliance. And I want you to look right now on the screen. Here is the document that they really want you to have in terms of RFI. And if you need more information, boss, you can contact us, you can email us, and we'll certainly talk to you, really explain things further for you. So you have a clear understanding of what it is. And but you can apply online too, though. I will show you in the next session how to apply online. So step number 4, boss, you need to apply. So now is where the big enchilada happens. Okay, here is where things start right now. So we're talking about, so I want you to go to this page. We are going to put on the screen the link. So you have to go to this page. So it's customcritical FedEx.com/US owner operator general information, blah, blah, blah. And you can see on the screen here. And so you see additional information. So this is where everything starts, additional information, okay? And you can also, if you have questions, if you need clarifications, whatever, you can call them at 1-866-711-3599 to discuss the opportunity in your area, because everything is it's local here, okay? And the cool thing is they're looking for owner-operators for this P&D, pickup and delivery business opportunity in all 50 states. Not a problem. But so again, the number here is 1-866-711-3599. And so you can do this, or you can click owner operator opportunities or CDL driver opportunities. Again, everything is on the screen. The link that I just showed you, when you go on that link, you will see, like, if you click on additional information, you will have owner operator opportunities or CDL driver opportunities. You want to choose the first one. So this owner operator opportunities, to fill in the required information on the page. Okay, boss, by the way, I want to remind you of today's topic. The topic of today's video, I'm explaining to you how to own a FedEx Pickup and Delivery business opportunities which can actually net, not gross, net you $250,000, at least $250,000 every year. Okay, so you can see on the screen here. So once you click on owner operator opportunities, first they want you to talk about to give more information about your personal details, right? You can see on the screen here. So they're asking you your first name, last name, and whatnot. Next, they're asking you for your address. So you put everything about your address, where you're located, you are located. It's just a lot better to use your business address as opposed to your personal address because you're applying for a business opportunity here. The next one, they are asking you for your contacts. So if FedEx has to get back to you, you want to give an address where they can contact you. Not a problem. Okay, make sure that this address or those contacts are active though. And then once you're done, just click submit. The next thing I want you to do, boss, I want you to choose your route. So we are having a conversation about how to own a FedEx pickup and delivery business. So you have to understand the opportunity. You need to position yourself properly. You need to prepare your paperwork. You need to apply. Now you have to choose your route because see, FedEx is so big. They have so many routes that you have to really choose your niche, so to speak. And you have to own it. So see, the thing is that you have to choose it first. And then if they agree to it, if they actually approve it for you, you have to make sure that you never lose it because you're not the only one. You have a lot of players. You have a lot of hustlers in this industry. They really want to own a FedEx route and want to keep it for life. Boss, think about this as money, like food on the table for your children. You have revenue coming in and day out. We're talking here big money. Again, we're not speaking about small ass money, $250,000 on average or even more. Because we know a lot of folks right now who are pulling at least $250,000 every year, free and clear. Free and clear. I want to insist on that because I don't want anybody to misunderstand me and think we're talking about gross income. No, because if you're talking about gross income, depending on how much or how much you have in expenses, you might be actually making small ass money. But here we're talking about free and clear. So you want to choose your route. So when it comes to choosing your route, when it comes to FedEx Custom Critical and FedEx Ground, you have many routes. Now, there are two types of FedEx ground services available to contractors. You have pickup and delivery. Okay, those contracts involve package pickup from shippers and transportation to a local FedEx ground station, as well as package pickup from a FedEx ground station and delivery to a commercial, business, or residential customer. That's what they call B2B or B2C operation. Okay, so this is kind of fine. So that's the P&D opportunity. You also have the line haul. So line haul contractors transport packages in FedEx ground-owned trailers over the road from hub to hub and station to hub. Now, today's conversation is not about the line haul contractors. We're talking about P&D contractors, okay? But I just wanted to throw this in to let you know that the opportunity is there in case you want to maybe vary a little bit. Now, once you choose your route, what will happen here is that FedEx have what they call verification. So they have their verification requirements. So FedEx Ground must verify that your business qualifies for a contract. To ensure you are deemed suitable, you need to meet FedEx contracting standards. You need to submit a formal response to the company's request for information. This is what I spoke about earlier. You can see on the screen here, okay? And when we talk about their contracting and service standards, your business must be organized as a legal corporation. So you got to have like a C corporation. It doesn't matter if you're one person though. You could be a one person. You have to be a single member LLC or a single member S corporation. Okay. As an independent business owner, you are expected to hire and train your own drivers and staff. You are responsible for things like wages, salaries, benefits, employment taxes, and whatnot. You are responsible for payroll deductions and whatnot. Okay, you are responsible to purchase or lease your own vehicles. Of course, FedEx will help you out. Okay, they will help you out, but you are responsible. You are a business owner. Okay, and FedEx expects you to agree to designate the following representatives to communicate with FedEx Ground. So you have an authorized officer, and you have a business contact. So you have to really think about what really works for you, for your specific business structure. Okay, this is really important. Step number 6, boss, you need to get ready for onboarding. So once you actually send them the request for information, you actually talk about your business, and you have explained everything, where you're located, the kind of route, the kind of FedEx route you're interested in, and your abilities, your policies, your whatever, blah 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 blah. You got to be ready for onboarding. Once they will send you an email, they'll let you know, like, hey, listen, we approve your application, everything is fine, we want you to get started. What will happen here is that they will train you. The training happens online. They have a 2 to 3 hour online training program depending on your geography. So once you go through that program, you got to get ready for onboarding. Okay, we're talking about, if you want to become a FedEx contractor, you have to really understand that they are very, very keen on customer service, and they are keen on punctuality. Now, there are several contractor types that you might be interested in. You have the custom critical owner operator. You have the ground independent FedEx contractor. You have the home delivery independent contractor. Let me just break it down for you. So you need to know about which opportunity. So for you to become a FedEx contractor, you have to choose. Okay. So the opportunities are available in 2 departments: FedEx Custom Critical and FedEx Ground. But within those 2 departments, or sub-departments for that matter, there are 3 types of FedEx contractors. So you have Custom Critical Owner Operator. So basically, those are the ones that make up FedEx's entire custom critical fleet. So if you own or plan to own your own vehicle, you might qualify for a FedEx owner operator position. Okay, so this is kind of cool. And so if you have, let's say, if you have a cargo van, if you have a small straight truck, if you have a large straight truck or a tractor trailer, you could qualify. Now let's talk about the ground independent FedEx contractor. Now the ground contractors are moving packages on the long haul routes between FedEx ground locations. So you have to provide your own tractor or rig, but FedEx supplies the trailer. So as a ground contractor, you are responsible for your own business related expenses. Okay. The qualification for work as an independent contractor for the FedEx ground include what? You need to have at least 1 year of CDL, so commercial driving license experience, within the last 3 years. You got to have no record of positive alcohol or drug test. You got to have a current CDL, and you got to be able to cross the border into Canada. Very important. And the third category is the home delivery independent contractor. Okay, so this is like, here you are responsible for picking up packages and for delivery to homes. So B2C, you must lease your own delivery van and pick up the tab on fuel, insurance, and other expenses related to your businesses. Okay, so it is what it is, but it is a fantastic opportunity. Number 7, boss, you want to maintain owner-operator eligibility. See, the whole thing is, once they onboard you, you are still responsible to comply with FedEx like terms and conditions. Because if you don't follow instructions, they'll kick you out. Like literally, they really don't actually play with this. And you got to become a full-time contractor with FedEx. Okay, and it's really important to understand that you will be you have to provide your social security number, your home address history for the last 3 years where you have been, your current driver's license number. Okay. They also want to have a driver's license history for the last 3 years to have a clear idea of where, like, they want to know everything about you. They want to have an employment history for up to 10 years. Okay. And they want to have a history of traffic accidents, violations, and convictions from the last 3 years. They also want to have your criminal history, and they want to have your military history. So that you can see that they really go granular here. Like FedEx want to know, they want to know everything. Okay. And one thing I want to say here is that do not lie. This is the worst that could happen to you. If you lie, you are toast, like big time, because they have so many ways to actually find out. It's just a lot better to say things up front. Like, let's say if you have quote unquote a complicated past, okay, stuff happens, everybody goes through this, blah 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 blah, and you have been convicted, or you have a little problem with DUI or DWI, whatever, like driving under the influence. It's just a lot better to say it, okay, and they'll see whether or not you still qualify. It's just a lot better. But if you lie and they hire you and they find out later on, they'll fire you. They'll fire you on the spot. Okay, we know folks who have had that misadventure. You don't want to have that. If you need more information, I want you to contact right now 1-866-711-3599. I've given this number before, but I'm giving it again, so you can either call 1-866-711-3599, or you can fill out the contact form on FedEx company's website. I showed you the link earlier. So this is important, but you got to maintain this eligibility. You have to make sure that you keep your driving history safe. Okay, you want to stay away from drugs and all this sort of banned substances. You also want to maintain you have to download an app, and the app will let you know like how you're doing in terms of you being a FedEx owner operator, and they will explain everything to you. On top of that, they also have like an app that rates you as a driver, as an owner operator. So even though you're not working for FedEx 100% like full-time, they'll still are rating you to see whether or not you still fit within the program, their P&D program, the Pickup and Delivery program. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, let me just quickly recap here. I was just talking to you about how to own a FedEx Pickup and Delivery business that nets you $250,000 a year at least. First, understand the opportunity. Number 2, you need to position yourself properly. Number 3, you need to prepare your paperwork. Number 4, I want you to apply, boss. Number 5, I want you to choose your route. Number 6, I want you to get ready for onboarding. And number 7, I want you to maintain owner-operator eligibility. Thank you. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.